Hello guys, it's the pre-market analysis of 3rd of July. So here we will be discussing what we can expect in today's market. Normally we expect Friday to be a sideways day, but gap up opening, almost 150 point gap up is what you're going to get. I think 50 is indicating around 415 level, 23 450, and if you give a premium of around 70 to 100, with that it will be around 23 330, 23 20 levels. And yesterday's market close also, if you see, 175, so it could be 150 point, close to 150 100. Concern is now, see, even last 3 days it's consistent up move, that was very good. But if you look at this one thing that concerns us, see, even on this day you got this move, but there was, and then there's a recovery taken out this high and went up, and it just was staying sideways. Again there was a bearish divergence. Okay, so you can see bearish divergence and gave a dip, and the good thing is that it was holding. If you remember, pre-market analysis I've discussed yesterday, 24,060 is the level. It opened up just above that. It was holding and broke this high. It went. Now when it came here, it was a double top, and everyone was looking for this divergence to be hit on the other side, but it did not happen. So I don't know. Now we are going to get here. All the 3 days there is a divergence which is there in the picture. So there can be a sell-off also. So this is the only thing that is actually worrying me. Otherwise, everything is looking positive. IT is so if you look at IT stocks rallied almost close to 5%. And I've also discussed the reasons in yesterday's pre-market itself. And I told you Wipro ADR is 70% negative, but when our market opened, when Wipro is also doing good, even yesterday also Infosys ADR, I'm talking about the Infosys traded in US market, which is also 5% up. Right, and US IT services also, all the companies, if you see in US, that also rallied like 5%. Cognizant is up more than 2%. Wipro ADR is again up by 1%, and that reason is mainly that investor concerns related to that AI is going to disrupt the traditional software company support more. That's how now the market has started interpreting, and because of that itself, IT stocks again started rallying. And when it comes to Infosys and all, I think this is a value buying because Infosys came to below 1,000 at that level. There will be definitely a value buying also. And if you look at US markets, yesterday Dow Jones is 1.14% up, and the S&P is flat. Nasdaq is slightly negative. VIX have fallen, which is also looking good. There are some positive macro data that US job opening, at the end of May is increased to 2-year high, which is positive for the market. Unemployment rate, which is for the economy, but not good for the market because, when you have less unemployment and more employment opportunity, people get money, people have more spending power, people have more purchasing power. Inflation will be there. So Fed will not cut the interest rate. No further liquidity will be pumped, right? In fact, Fed may go for tightening also. So in that case, that's not good for the market, but that's good for that. Earlier this week, I've already discussed that Fed chairperson Kevin Walsh, in fact, reiterated his commitment to that 2% inflation target similar to his predecessor, so the previous chairperson. So in that case, there is no chance that there will be a rate coming down, which is actually good for the market. And due to this interest rate concern, there were some selling which is continued in AI and semiconductor stock also. And if you look at semiconductor index, it's down more than 11%. You see, it stayed stable. VIX have also fallen, which is actually looking good. And that's why GIFT Nifty is indicating 415 level, which means we are going to get an opening of around 300, 325 level. So closing was 20 from 150 point gap of opening. Crude is also looking good. WTI is around 68.5 and Brent is around 71.5. So everything is now, as of now, looking very clear, very positive. HDFC ADR 2% up. So ADRs are giving very fresh positive signal, very fresh arbitrage also. So our market will try to pop up with that arbitrage difference, right? So HDFC is looking good. ICICI is very strong. And there is something related to India-US trade agreement also. The finance minister, commerce minister, Piyush Goyal have stated there is no major hurdles expected in conducting India-US free trade agreement. Agreement is in the market. And, in fact, if it is going to work out, if it is finalized, it is going to give a lot of competitive advantage over the other countries like Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, and Cambodia. So that's going to be very good for India. The current contracts will come. All these are positives. And there are other trade related agreement is also under discussion. India, UK, India, EU. Right. So by July 15, India UK FTA will come into effect, and India, all this trade related development can be seen very positively. Now, yesterday, if you look at institutional activities, FIA sold around 300 crore, and selling is there, but it is reducing old also, but selling is very less compared to what we used to see before. Maybe the selling also got exhausted. DIS bought for 6 times, which is 1800 crore. Option data, if you see, call open interest act as a support, and the put call ratios improved from 1.11 to 1.24, which is super bullish. Market is looking bullish in terms of data. But as I told you, there is divergence for the last 3 days, which has not been reflected. So up move, whether this divergence again going to play a big role is very, very important. So IT ADR, if you look at it, it's indicating strong session, strong momentum. Banking ADR is also positive. HDFC is 1% up. ICICI Food is below 70 WTI. Brent is around 70 again, which is very good. FI is reduced selling, which is good. Positive trade agreement development with EU, UK, US, and all these are looking good. But negative, if I see US markets close slight stocks, which have nothing much to do with India. And today US market is closed for holiday. That is one thing. Just need to keep in mind. And global momentum also slightly post. So when we get this kind of moment, Indian rupee is still under pressure, right? As oil companies continue to book their low price crude futures aggressively, that could be one of the reasons. So these are the things that I want to discuss. We got beautiful moves. Now, if you look at the maximum call open interest, now it's at 24,500, and after that 24,200, market is at 24,200, which is a straddle. It could be the straddle now, and 24,500 is where the real maximum. And today we are going to get an opening at around 325. So 400 is going to be the immediate resistance. Support is going to be the maximum. Put writing now is at 24,000. That would be the support. So we are looking for a range of 24. Thank you so much. I hope you will trade responsibly. And if you are looking for any live market mentoring program, we have the community where we trade live, where we teach live. You can get in touch with us, and we can